Yes, welcome back to In the Red Corner. Hope everyone's well. I'm honoured to have the champ Danny Christie on tonight after his victory at BKFC 40 over Anthony Holmes. Hell of a performance. Here he is. I'll bring him in now. Yes, my man. How are you doing?
Yes, Ross. I'm all good. And yourself?
Good. Thanks very much for coming on. Appreciate it.
Not a problem, mate.
We spoke this morning. You were pretty tired still.
Yeah.
Obviously, an emotional couple of days. How are you feeling?
Feel great, mate. You know, there's probably a crash coming in a couple of days. It's just chemistry. You know, it's just the way it works, isn't it? What goes up must come down.
Yeah, of course.
I'm ready for it, mate, and I'll be fine.
Good, good. So you had 12 stitches in your eyebrow, I believe, and a couple in the face.
Yes, mate.
The swelling's still quite up, is it?
Yeah, I can open my eye all the way now, but yeah, we've still got swelling and that, and some nice fresh scar tissue, which I seem to be collecting.
Yeah, I think that might have been part of Anthony's game plan to utilise that and capitalise on the scar tissue that you've got, and maybe try and finish the fight with cuts. Did the fight go the way you expected then?
Yes and no. You know, I thought I'd maybe got a few more punches in earlier than I did. It was just down to his incredible movement and footwork, and like I've said before, he does a lot of things really well. But I knew the power was on my side, and like I've said, I really believed on the way to that ring that I was indestructible. You know, I really believed I was going to knock him out. Wholeheartedly believed I was going to knock him out, and it came. You know, it took a bit longer than we thought it would, but it came.
Yeah, I mean, you put the pressure on him straight away, straight from the first bell. You've moved forward and you came at him. Obviously, we talked as well the day you fight. We had a little interview the day of your fight as well.
Yeah,
putting pressure on him was going to be the main thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, listen, I think from the fights that we've watched of Anthony, he's not the same fighter when you put, pressure on him. The thing is, the lads who he's beat, who are some very credible opponents, they haven't put that amount of pressure on him. They seem to me like they just sort of follow him around and let him dictate the pace. Well, that's when he's at his best, and that's when he's quite dangerous. So you need to try and take that away, and keep backing him up. Just keep backing him up. Keep applying pressure. And our plan wasn't to throw anything without power. We had enough gas in the tank. We'd done so much training for this fight, and the plan was move forward, keep the head off the line, and throw everything with power. And it's a matter of time before something gets through. And that's what
I remember you saying that just before the fight, you kind of changed tactics as well. So what were your original tactics?
The original tactics were, have a little bit of a read of him. Have a little bit of a read of him and see, because we didn't know what he was going to do. We just didn't know. But I mean, I should have knew better, really, because no disrespect to Anthony Holmes, he's never going to stand there with me and have a shootout. He's a smart fighter. He uses his brain, and he's not going to give me what I want. And in fairness, if he does ever do that, and if he did ever do that, it'd have been knocked out a lot quicker.
Yeah, I mean, hell of a war. I mean, what you've done, you said yourself on your video this morning, you might have kind of lost the 2 rounds. Third round was, could have gone either way. How much of a factor was the cut to the eye? Did that make you just spur you on to finish the fight there and then?
Yeah, of course it did. When I bleed and, when my vision's impaired, or, he did flash me with that shot to the eye. I knew it was going to hurt, and we could say maybe hurt me at that point, but it wasn't the type of hurt that was going to make my legs bend or give way. These punches are going to hurt in the morning. It's funny, you don't actually feel any pain in there. But it spurred me on, and that's how it goes. If I feel like I'm hurt or I'm behind or I'm bleeding, that's when the dog comes out. You know, I've always got that dog in us. And
man, that dog's a fucking beast. It's a wolf, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, I just really wanted to put hands on him more then. And the third round, I think, was my best round out with the first three. And you know, I know he was noticeably breathing heavy, noticeably like slowing down. You know, he didn't have the same speed in lateral movement and footwork than what he had in the first two rounds, and that was due to the pressure I put on him. You know, he was running out of gas, and you know, Wayne got us really revved up after the third round and said, "You need to stop respecting him. Stop respecting what he might or might not throw at you." He said, "Charge him down and knock him out."
Yeah. I mean, he's so elusive, isn't he? His movement is unbelievable. His footwork, and you said yourself you were missing by a country mile some of your shots.
Of course
You're throwing them, and he's 2 foot away.
Yeah.
It's, you know, incredible. I know you've kind of touched on it today on the video, but what did you kind of make of his podcast last night on the Fully Game podcast and what he said?
You know, it was what it was. I've got nothing bad to say about him. I tell it how it is. You know, I tell it as I see it, and I tell it as I hear it. But we all deal with these things differently. You know, nobody's ever done that to him. You know, we need, as fighters, you know, we need to kind of rationalize and procrastinate, and we need there to be a reason other than ourselves, you know, why we get flattened. You know, and it's just a fighter's mentality. You know, is it's a bitter pill to swallow for him, I'm sure. You know, and I mean, you know, I don't know. Maybe, you know, 1 or 2 days after that kind of loss was maybe not an ideal time for him to be talking about the fight, but he knows himself. He's done the podcast for a reason. But like I said in my video this morning, now I have shared a ring with him, and now I've felt his power, and now we've swapped punches and we've went into deep water, I suppose, by doing 5 busy rounds. You know, if I was a friend of Anthony Holmes, if I was his coach or, you know, a member of his family, I would be telling him to avoid Danny Christie because, you know, Danny Christie cleans him out every time.
Yeah. I mean, he said 1 in 3. You know, you win 1 in 3, but I mean, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
Is the lad's entitled to his opinion? You know, he's entitled to his opinion, and you know, I think otherwise. But hey ho.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there, and I was going to say that as well. I think the day after or 2 days after to go onto a podcast after a defeat, you know, questioning yourself why it happened, what went wrong. You know, he didn't speak too fondly of his. Well, not that he didn't speak fondly. You know, he kind of blamed a few things: his fitness, his cardio, not getting out on the road running. You know, having a new coach in P. That, you know, they're just learning each other's way. I think it was too soon to kind of come on and say what he said. You know, maybe a few days would have made a difference to how he was thinking. Because, I mean, the comments in that video as well, it didn't really show you much respect, to be fair.
Listen, it is what it is. You know, Anthony's his own person. He goes about things in his own way, you know, and for what it's worth, you know, I still quite like the lad. You know, I don't need respect of Anthony Holmes for Anthony Holmes, you know, for me to respect Anthony. You know, I don't work like that. I'm me, he's him. I respect what he's done in the game, and I respect him as a person. But, you know, I don't think it done him any favours as far as public opinion goes. You know, the bottom line is he lost to the better man. You know, the better man won. And, you know, I ground him down and I knocked him out. The end.
The end. You put that pressure on him. You made him gas out. You know, you picked the shots. I mean, that little short right hand that you caught him with straight down the middle. Fuck. It was absolutely unbelievable. And the way you finished him off after that as well. You know, you smelt the blood. You knew it. You went for it. Unbelievable. I mean, it was the whole show. I mean, it was a bit of a thing where the PA system had gone, so you didn't get your walkout music. You had AC/DC in the back. Well, to play, didn't you? That was going to be your walkout song.
Yeah, Back in Black. You know, I really like that tune, and especially the opening couple of lyrics. You know, let loose from the noose. You know, forget the hurt because I'll never die. I got 9 lives. Cat's
Yeah.
eye. What a fucking opening tune that is. But you know, it is what it is. You know, God give me no music, and God give him no music. You know, it was what it was.
Yeah.
I was there to do a job, and I wasn't going to let anything deter, you know, my winning mindset.
Did that play with your mind at all, that you didn't get your walkout music?
No,
No,
it was.
just it was what it was.
You can't be letting, you know, something like that throw you off your game at this level. You know, 2 minutes before you're about to go into the biggest fight of your life. You've got a job to do. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, could have anything, something a lot worse could have happened. You know, and I'd have still got in there and cleaned him out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know that the show was in Leeds, but geez, the support that you had there, it was absolutely rocking, wasn't it? I mean, it could have been a home show for you, really, the amount of support that you had. I didn't really hear much, of Anthony's support. Maybe it's because I was on the other side, but the Carlisle people and people from all over the country that came to see you,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I mean, we both had plenty of support. Anthony had plenty of support as well, you know, but I'm glad, you know, I didn't receive like any hostility. You know, the crowd they welcomed us, mate. And I was very well received by them, you know, after the fight. And, you know, ultimately after the fight, I couldn't fully enjoy the victory because I was concerned for Anthony. You know,
Yeah.
the straight up concern for him. He was on the floor for a long, long time. And then when he got up, he had to sit on a stool and he was helped back to the stitch room. You know, he just didn't look steady on his feet. And in the stitch room, he didn't see him himself. Yeah, I felt for him. I didn't want to rub it in his face. I didn't want to kick a man when he was down. You know, I'm not that type of person. And as I said before, I take no pride in stamping on his dreams. You know, it was him or me, you know, and it was as simple as that. And I didn't expect if Anthony Holmes flattened me, I don't think it'd have looked back at all. I don't think it would have been bothered, you know, but that's him. I'm me. You know, it wasn't nice to see somebody like that, you know, the way I'd left him. I didn't, you know, I wasn't crying a river for him, but I certainly wasn't willing to rub it in his face and be a dickhead about it, you know.
Well, that's not your way, you know what I mean? But, I mean, in the ring, just after the fight, you said, we'll run it back, we'll have a rematch.
Yeah.
Do you see that as a possibility? I mean, because you were supposed to go on to the US and fight Lorenzo Hunt. What's the BKFC saying?
Well, at present, I'm having some time off. You know, I'm not confirming what I'm doing next because that's up to the promotion.
Yeah.
You know, if Anthony badges the promotion and if he makes them, you know, or whatever, and the promotion think it's a good idea to run it back, then, you know, I'll clean him out again. You know, but like I said earlier on, if I was a member of Anthony Holmes' family or somebody that really cared about him, I would tell him to maybe come back and knock one or two lesser opponents out first because, you know, another fight with me does him no favours, you know, and it will not serve him well.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think he needs to go back to the drawing board and work on the things that he wasn't happy with. And kind of
Yeah.
not rebuild. I mean, I think he stated that he's still got the opportunity to go over to America and fight, which, you know, wouldn't be a bad thing for him. And hopefully he can do it after he's not earned his way or worked his way back up, but, you know, when he's feeling a bit better, I suppose.
Absolutely. Listen, Anthony's got an awful lot to offer, bare knuckle, you know, even at his age, our age, you know, even at our age, the age that we're at, he's got a lot to offer. He's very frustrating, very technical. You know, the lateral movement and the fast twitch muscle fibers are really good. You know, he's really got that technique of getting out the way of punches. He's got that down. You know, I dare say, you know, in my opinion, I'd like to see him be a bit more offensive. But, you know, that's just because it would suit me. You know, that's
Yeah.
because it would suit me. But, you know, he punches hard enough and he's got a lot of good tools. And listen, I wish him well. I wish the lad no more harm at all. But if we do ever share a ring again, it's not going to be good for Anthony.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that plays a factor as well? I mean, Anthony, like I say, is very elusive. He's always moving. Hands are always going. Feet are always going. Could that have been a factor of him gassing out quick?
Well, that's just how
not quick. It wasn't quick, but of him gassing out, I suppose.
That's how he fights. If you watch him, he's looking like he's always trying to sort of draw a punch out of you. He's trying to make you make the first move, and he keeps you guessing with his hands. And he almost reminds us a little bit of, Yoel Romero in the MMA. He does a lot of moving, and he almost like lulls you into a false sense of security. Then he'll explode with something when you're least expecting it. He's unpredictable that way. But, we stayed switched on with him, and it went the way it went,
He fights really well off the back foot.
He does.
Like the movement, and then like you say there, all of a sudden, boom, he's in with a shot. You were saying that you feel bad for him and things like that. You did in the stitch room before you left. You kind of said, "Don't hate as much," and he kind of gave you a bit of a fuck off, didn't he?
He did. He told us to fuck off, but I never took it to heart. I knew he's. Listen, I said it before, sometimes you can want something too much, all these dreams of America and that, which he's still well capable of achieving, by the way. But, to look past me, which I felt he might have done, I felt he might have underestimated me to a certain degree. You can want something too much. We've got to concentrate on what's in front of us. And I'll be dead honest with you now, Ross. I don't give a toss about going to America. I couldn't care less about it. And that's the truth. I don't care about going to America. If it happens, great. I'll go over there and fight anybody. But do you understand what I'm saying? I don't care about it. And as I've said,
it means a lot more to him than it does to you, didn't it?
It does. And something? I'll tell you something now. If it was up to me and I had my choice, I'd let him go in my place. That's how much it means to me. I couldn't care less about it. I know what it means to him. I mean, the world doesn't work like that, but if it was in my hands, I'd let him go. I'd let him do it because it's his dream, and it's his goal and all that stuff. I couldn't care less about it, mate.
Yeah, I mean, one person that was down there, I'm not sure if he was there to support you, but David Round. Always nice to see David.
David's a good.
Yeah, he's a real nice lad. I think the world of David. Funny man. And
he's a funny character.
I mean, he's desperate to go toe-to-toe with you, isn't he?
Yeah, listen, that's another fight what would make sense. But like I've said, I'm waiting to see what the promotions say. I want the best available opponents and all that stuff, and we'll see what they say. What they come at me with, then I'll know what I might be doing. But until then, I don't know. And at present, I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying my downtime. I'm not thinking about fighting. I'm still sort of, riding the crest of this wave, if you like.
Yeah. And I suppose that'll come in time as well. Obviously, that was the end of your 3-fight contract with the BKFC. I know there's a contract on the table for you now as well, a multi-fight deal.
Yes.
But I think you've probably done the right thing there as well. Now you're the champ, as it was always meant to be, as was written in the stars. It gives you a little bit more negotiation power, doesn't it, for going forward?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it does. I mean, listen, the promotion have been really good to me. I've been very well paid so far. I'm happy. I'm healthy. And only time will tell where this goes or what I want to do next. As I said before, I could walk away right now, mate, and never fight again, and be happy. I've got a beautiful life to live. I've got beautiful kids and, a girlfriend who I love to bits, and I've got so many good things going on right now. I could walk away right now and never miss it. Well, I would miss it, but I've got billion things to take its place. And that's what I'm talking about with what it means to me. I mean, on the day and on the run-up to that fight in camp, the fight meant everything to us. I had to win. I trained to win. We hatched a game plan. We got it right and we got the job done. But, you know, fighting's not everything to me. The BKFC isn't everything to me. You know, I've got a beautiful life away from bare knuckle. You know, this is just something to get me out of bed on the morning and give me a bit of drive.
Is that a real possibility then, that could be the last time that you fight?
God only knows. You know, I'm not having too much of a deep thought into it right now. You know, it's possible. Who knows? You know, I need to have a good chat with my coach. I need to have a chat with my kids. I need to have a chat with Alice. You know, and these are all these conversations for the future. You know, right now I'm enjoying my rest. I've got a holiday booked, you know, and I'm the champ. So I'll decide what happens.
Yeah, too right. I mean, Terry Brazier fight, you sustained a bit of damage. You know, this fight, you've sustained a bit of damage. And you've always said in the past as well, you've got a high mileage body.
Of course I have.
There's only so long you can do it as well. And, you know, whatever happens, it's got to be the right decision for you. And I'm sure you'll make it.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll speak on behalf of everyone watching or listening or whatever. They want to see you back out there again. You've got an abundance of support and you're so well respected. People just want to be around you, I found, and people just want to shake your hand. You're so relatable to people. You know, people that have got their own struggles. They see you as an inspiration. You know, is that something that you would look at doing further in the future? You know, some kind of seminars or talks or anything like that?
I mean, perhaps. You know, I never say never. I do seem to be gathering more and more options, and you know, it's incredibly rewarding when people say that you've helped them in any way whatsoever, or they've drew inspiration from you, or you've helped them do this, that, and the other. You know, it's incredibly rewarding, and it's nice to give something back to people. You know, and you know, never say never. You know, whatever will be, will be. I say that all the time. You know, whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyway. You know, I've just got to.
Or is it you say, what's not going to miss you? What'll go past you won't miss you?
Yeah, what's meant for us in this life will not miss us, you know. So I'm a big believer in that. You know, what's coming for me is coming for me, and what will be taken from me will be taken from me. You know, God works in mysterious ways. You know, we don't always get what we want. You know, a lot of the times we're given the things that we don't want to strengthen us, you know, to give us tests, you know, so we can find a way out of the dark, to ultimately make us better people. You know, it's not all peaches and cream. You know, it's a continuation of tests and lessons.
Yeah, mate. Whatever you do, it'll be the right thing for you. You know, your head's screwed on. And listen, I'll let you go and rest up. I really appreciate you coming on, and thanks very much for your time. I'll be in touch, and we'll go for a coffee or something soon.
Not a problem. My pleasure, Ross. Bye-bye for now, mate.
All right. Thanks very much. Cheers, Danny.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe, mate. Ta-ra. There he is, ladies and gents. The champ in the house, in the red corner live. Thank you very much to all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this, please like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps. It goes a long way. Helps us create better content and things. Appreciate everyone's time. I mean, what did everyone think? What a performance! What unbelievable! I'm still buzzing from it now. I mean, I went back to work on Monday, back to reality, and I was thinking, this isn't for me. But everyone, thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Got another couple of guests on this week. Big Rob Cunningham coming after his victory. Connor Cook, first Irishman to fight in the BKFC. I've got Tom Kong Scott from Blackpool. He had his BKFC victory as well. And more to come, people. But thank you very much, and have a good evening. Hit that subscribe button. Corner Podcast would like to thank our show sponsors: the Gentry Barbers and Tattoo Lounge, Funky Gums Mouth Guards, Vandella Phone Repairs, and The One Who Follows.
For the fight fans joining us and the millions watching around the world. Out of the right corner.
Big shout to everyone that jumped in on the comments there as well. Brilliant. Sharon Cleland, John, Richard Foster, Di Barker. There's too many to mention. Dangerous Darren, always there. Thank you very much, Darren. Respect you. Sharon Cleland, great to meet you at the show. Thanks very much. Chelsea Darks, D Lions. Like I say, there's too many to mention, but really appreciate it. Have a good evening, everyone.